Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I'm honored to be having with me over the program for tonight in the studio Dr. Mohamed Mokhtar Darwish, the international relations expert. Thank you very much, Doctor, for being with us tonight.
I appreciate it to join your program, sir.
Anytime. Of course, we did see the latest violations by the Israeli occupation forces and the statements by the Israeli Prime Minister and the Israeli government in general. How do you see those statements and the the response of the Egyptian government, of the OIC, of the GCC foreign ministers, of the Arab League, especially yesterday?
What's happening and what's going on, Israel know what's going on for them, and they don't want to give up, because the First Minister of Israel know if he stops this war, what is coming to him. There is huge action, international approach from everywhere will go on him, even internally in Israel. That's why he's trying to move in his dream and try to saying to Israel internally that this is the dream Israel. We will try to keep it on and moving and do Israel the big Israel.
Yes.
And on the other part, Egypt never give up for that. And our government and our president believe that the peace is our top priority for Gaza, and try to pushing approach related to what's going on between our Minister Dr. Abdelati, to try to pushing in European Union and everywhere that it must stop this war immediately, and try to cooperate and communicate to support. And there is also one of the gap. The gap is internally on Gaza. There must be as a one side, to be communicate together as one team. This is the gap. This is always when you try to getting some actions, try to get some promises, to having a stop, to having what we say it's an action, showing action, approach the things related to Hamas or whatever internally, what's from steps that try to take in this little bit, try to stop it, and Egypt try to communicate and pushing this internally related to Gaza to be on one side, one opinion, to have action, because Gaza is suffering so much, really suffering day by day, and what's happening yesterday is always bad, what worse things is going on, and keeping wars. We must stop that, and Egypt believes that it must to stop. Arab Union and everywhere that we try to delegate and passing bridges approach to stopping that.
Doctor, you mentioned a very important topic and a very important point, which is the future for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, because yesterday we have seen the statements of the Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen saying that Netanyahu has become the problem.
Yes.
Now, he is the problem.
He is.
He's getting deeper and deeper into the problem in the Gaza Strip, with the violations, with the crimes that he is committing through the occupation forces of Israel. What next? Because this will be ending one way or another, with a ceasefire, with the permanent truce. There will be something that ends the problem for the Gazans, and there will be a brighter future for the Palestinians. But what next for the Israeli Prime Minister after what he has done over the past at least 2 years?
This is for him, as mentioned, life or death. He's believing, he's trying to keep breathing. If the war stops, he will not be alive. I'm sorry for this example, but because he is already become most wanted from every judgment, international judgment approach, when what he did in Gaza. It's not easy what he's done, and he tried to continue this scenario with Israel, to tell them, your dream, if I stop, your dream will stop. And this is not the truth also. But the future for coming of that, it will return again to the first stopping before 3 years ago, and we'll try to get Gaza back. All right, and we try Egypt to try to prepare it well to get Gaza to construction Gaza and get the life getting in again, and it will be getting again. And the coming worse, the bad scenario, it coming for Israel, for the First Minister of them, what he did it, what you done for the humanity, approach the world it will not pass and easy for him.
How to stop what is going on nowadays in Palestine? How to stop those dangerous activities of the Israeli government and the Israeli occupation forces towards the Palestinians?
We wanted that in 2 steps. First of all, Gaza, Palestinian as a one man, okay? 2, and Egypt, very easy to do that.
Yes.
International approved, what we said, meeting for the top countries approved for the state and even Europe, and put on one round the table to stop this war. It could be maximum 48 hours. This will be the stop. Believe me, it will be stopped. But the thing is, there is a little bit of missing communication, and something I don't want to go on it, but underline is very clear to everybody. That's there is missing communicating Gaza, missing to be as a one part. This the first priority. This the first case. If we solve that, very easy to stop the war, because Gaza and the people, Palestinian people, don't go against. There are action for what did them doing from Israel, and Israel never stop daily by daily. Go to school, attack hospitality, attack children. They never stop, and this will not, and the history will not give it on for them that what did them done it. Them didn't leave any child to live. This is against the humanity. We will see, and we will remember that show, sir. That's Netanyahu will be in a jail soon. But first of all, to stop this war, he will go. He will not be alive.
Speaking of the unity of the Palestinians, because we need that for the benefit of the innocent civilians in the Gaza Strip and everywhere in Palestine. And we have seen the efforts of Egypt over decades, not just for the past few years, over decades, to be reaching this unity between Fatah and Hamas. Can you see this happening?
Yes, it could be happening. But the thing is, everybody will scope on something, on a position. This is not a time for the position.
Yes.
It's time for stability. Please, it's a message for everybody showing me. It's time to stability for Palestinian people. Enough blood, enough children's going, enough to take a chair against anybody from my country. This is not the things. And Egypt suffering and pushing and make all the things, and even Israel try to pushing and gravitate Egypt to be one of these things and to give them us some benefits. Why not to let Palestinian to come in or near to the border or something to live, have a small...
also rejected by
yes.
President Assisi.
This is not accepted.
Yes.
Our president, this is not accepted. This is not the solution. Them have them country. Let them live. Why not to have the post country, Israel and this the things, Israel and Palestinian, and this is among of the history. This war, this country. All right. Why not let get him back? I don't want Israel, especially the minister, have several unaccepted action related first of all financial. He needs to cover it. He needs to cover attacked several things of the humanity, several things. First of all, the Israelis themselves, them take financial, them had first things, and he also go to the court and he stopped these things. I say that's not the time and try to. Everybody know this message is.
Yes.
He will get into the jail, but it's a matter of time. And this is Egypt try to control and keep hard certain to fight and easy to get a peace. This is Egypt. I mean, our president visions. Try to let everybody, I mean, from the countries, show the things, show the cases very well. And you know, we see in TVs and the newspaper, I mean, the news in everywhere, in every TVs and televisions, that everybody hates Israel. This is the story of the first minister of Israel. Pass the message. Never ever found any one like Israeli people now, abroad or overseas. This our gaining. This is our casing, what we gaining from that, and all our president and first minister, and of course I appreciate the effort wall of Dr. Abdel Ati, we can say that he never sleep. They relegated the first priority case related to his minister. And he tried to communicate and pushing internally located and international with every Arab countries and Gulf and Africa. We need to be as one man side related to that case. This is enough. This is enough what's happening in Gaza.
Doctor, you have mentioned the role of the Israeli government, the Israeli Prime Minister in the massacres taking place in Palestine. You have spoken about the importance of the unity between Hamas and Fatah and the Palestinian people in general to be stopping what is happening in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, to say the least. But are you implying that Hamas has a role in the problem, that the main priority for Hamas is not the Palestinian people?
I'm not Palestinian, but reference to as I'm international, it's international, I'm related to my professionals, an international law and an international expert. Hamas, if them want, if them care well for Palestinian, I mean that, could we say that, so if we go into discussion, open discussions,
yes,
everybody take everything they like, or a little bit? They need to increasing the needs, at least. What them done, we are suffering from it, from your action. Little bit, put the first importance, peoples
yes,
of Palestinian, people of Gaza.
to prioritize the Palestinians,
Yes,
the civilians.
This is our top things. Our top things must be stop the blood first of all. Then we will see on the tables who is gonna be a minister or gonna be taking increasing of that. This is the important. This is the priority. People's humility, right? And the word and the history will never forget what's happening.
Yes, Doctor, and one final question before going to another report for the daily debate for tonight. We have seen yesterday the response from, as I mentioned, Egypt, the GCC, the OIC, and the Arab League regarding the statements of the Israeli Prime Minister and the Israeli violations in general. What are the steps that could be taken on the ground by the Egyptian authorities, by the Arab authorities, by the Arab League, by the GCC countries, by the OIC countries, the Arab and the Islamic countries in general, to be stopping the genocide war against the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip and looking forward to what is next, the day next, the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip?
As a good example in management, win-win, right? First of all, if we stop related or dedicated with Israel anywhere, what's going on?
Yes.
This is what is happening for the state when they stop anything related to Russian and take them all the financial things stopping abroad. If we do one of that step, what's happening for Israel? No one getting back to listen, all right?
Yes.
And we stop dealing. I mean, we're not easy. I mean, Arab and African, and we are now as a one part. I believe in that, and this is our president doing and them effort. And related to that, sir, also our the minister Abdel Ati, Dr. Abdel Ati, tried to communicate with Arab Union representative related to that, and let him a message. I believe it's from the president. It must right now to stop this war immediately. It's time to stop it. It's time to get back to what we did. We'd been approving an agreement before, and these things is must to be again. It will return to Palestinian, and Palestinian must to be communicate together and agree, and that offers, and not one of the part to select. No, I don't like that, and I will leave that. This is not a mention to select. It's first of all our idea, our things, to get this is a mission. I believe it's a mission. The mission of it must stop this war. First of all, then we need to discuss everything, come able to have solutions. Nothing without solution. Solution is everywhere. But our government, Egyptian government, pushing and keep supporting together with all the Palestinians. You must, it's time. What's happening, we're keeping. If you not communicate, if you not being as the one part, as a one man. If we not be as the one man, we will show more and more daily. And this is what Israel is doing. Because they believe that nobody try to agree with what we offer or stop us. if you don't found in general life, if you don't have the power and authority, what they stop them?
Nothing.
Nothing. Must there is action, and this action, believe in financial, is going to communicate as a one icon.
Sanctions.
Yes. Is it? Take it or leave it. And it must be looking, it's time to part for humidity, people.
Yes.
Money could come, but people will not be income. And this is what is under the message, what Israel do. Try to get less of people's office. And then when they will sit, we become more than them. We are should have the benefits more. And this is not the truth.
It is the plan, and the main base here is humanity, as you mentioned. Doctor, we'll be going to the other report of the daily debate for tonight, focusing on the day after according to the plan. And the plan is based on 2 pillars by the Egyptian Foreign Ministry for the day after in the Gaza Strip. We'll be having more details in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Badr Abdelati outlined Egypt's vision for the day after the war in Gaza and future administration of the Strip, stressing that the Palestinian component must be the foundation of enforcing law, order, and filling the current security vacuum. Abdelati said Egypt's clear vision regarding security arrangements in Gaza after the end of the war has 2 main pillars: security and governance. The first pillar includes deploying Palestinian police forces currently existing in the West Bank and Gaza under the Palestinian Authority, who are on the payroll but not in active service. He added these personnel could be recalled from their homes, retrained and redeployed. There are around 5,000 officers who could be sent to Gaza. Abdelati also stated that Egypt plans to train another 5,000 carefully selected police officers in coordination with Jordan and the Palestinian Authority, ensuring clean records free of extremism. He said names are already being identified for phased training in Egyptian camps, with Jordan also training additional numbers. This would prepare for a ceasefire and restore security and stability, given that Hamas currently controls the ground. The second pillar is concerned with governance. Who will run Gaza? Abdelati emphasized that this will be discussed at the Cairo International Conference for Reconstruction and Early Recovery in Gaza in the presence of Palestinian Prime Minister and a large delegation. The first day of the conference will feature a workshop on security and governance, as no country will fund reconstruction without clarity on who will ensure security and manage the Strip after the war. He indicated that an agreement has been reached with stakeholders on appointing 15 prominent non-factional technocrats, engineers, doctors, and other notable figures already in Gaza to manage the Strip for 6 months. This transitional period would allow the Palestinian Authority to be rehabilitated and re-established as the sole legitimate governing body in both Gaza and the West Bank. He explained that during these 6 months, the Administrative Committee will carry out early recovery projects in coordination with international organizations as set out in Cairo Conference agenda. The conference date will be announced once a ceasefire is reached. The first phase of the recovery plan will focus on restoring essential services provided, prefabricated homes, and ensuring access to sanitation, drinking water, and medical clinics. After the committee's mandate ends, the Palestinian Authority will resume full governance as it already has ministry branches in Gaza. Moreover, he affirmed that the situation is currently much improved, as the Assistant Foreign Minister for European Affairs has been instructed to summon the ambassadors of these countries, mostly European, and make it clear to them that any negligence will be met with measures inside Egypt, including reducing security arrangements. He emphasized that any country failing to protect Egyptian embassies will be held to the same standard, noting that the embassies of these countries in Egypt, along with their accrediting authorities abroad, are well aware of this. Abdulati said Egypt is making extraordinary efforts to deliver aid to Gaza by land from Rafah crossing through Karam Abu Salim crossing and by airdrops through armed forces. He stressed that recent smear campaigns were orchestrated by groups affiliated with the Muslim Brotherhood to divert attention from Israel's responsibility for the catastrophic situation in Gaza. However, he asserted that Israel is responsible for the current tragedy in Gaza, rejecting any attempts to outbid or undermine Egypt's role. He highlighted the fact that some individuals in Israel support this terrorist group and have tried to outbid Egypt's role ironically inside the very state committing the genocide. He explained that Israel's war crimes in Gaza cannot be tolerated or minimized, especially as the occupying power carries out systematic killings of unarmed civilians seeking aid. Furthermore, Egypt's top diplomat said Israel seeks to liquidate the Palestinian cause by forcing Palestinians to leave their land, stressing that Egypt continues its efforts to support the Palestinian people. He affirmed that the Egyptian side of Rafah crossing operates around the clock and is never closed, with thousands of trucks awaiting clearance. The problem, he added, is that Israel has destroyed the Palestinian side of the crossing.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I'm honored to be having with me over the program for tonight Dr. Mohamed Mokhtar Darwish, the international relations expert. Thank you very much once again for being with us, Doctor. Of course, we were speaking about the latest developments in the Gaza Strip and the efforts of Egypt to be alleviating the suffering over the burden or the shoulders of the Palestinians. Doctor, of course, we know that there is negotiation process, some negotiations taking place between Hamas and the Israeli occupation forces or the Israeli government, mediated by Egypt, Qatar and the United States. How do you see the future of those ceasefire talks?
What I see is must to, as we mentioned before we go into this report, there must be a given a Hamas message. Not all what you want will be happening. Try to let less of your requirements or your needs and let this to Palestinian. Please, let to Palestinian. And I believe the key is Hamas. We must mention that. If Hamas less in them requirements, I believe in that discussions we will go active.
What are the requirements of both sides that are stopping progress?
The requirement is what is knowing and unknowing. In the knowing, a little bit less in action,
yes,
less of also guns and shootings from both sides, less also try to have a little bit of peace together, and there will be like a line, nobody to cut it, and this it must be what we say it's accepted from both sides, and this always what is stopping this pace or stopping these discussions and action from Egypt and Qatar and the state and Palestinian. That's some of them attack the other, then we stop this line, we go in again, we back to the war.
Yes,
This is not what it.
it's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
Yes,
usually happening. I know the kids, for example, will try. We don't need to give the, Israel again the reason. Please, listen up. Stop the reason for Israel to get the story that like to go on and keep going on. It's time to stopping. Let the Netanyahu suffering and live in what he done. Since this stopped the war, the things will go. What we say that he will go attack himself. he will kill himself by himself by stopping the war. This is my thinking and my opinion related to that. Exactly what he will gain from his hand. He must gain.
And finally, Doctor, speaking about the foreign relations of Egypt under the tenure of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to be balancing relations between Egypt and the United States and Egypt and Israel, despite that Egypt has its main priority of preserving the Palestinian cause, protecting the Palestinian cause, not to be liquidating the cause for the future generations. How do you see the importance of having this balance between Egypt and those countries, at the same time protecting the Palestinian civilians and the Palestinian cause?
The first country say to the state no is Egypt. Our President Mr. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. I really appreciate this action. And stop and never agree for what's the recognizing, and I mean the message was coming from President Trump. We will not allow to have the Palestinian out of the Palestine and out of Gaza. All of the countries say, okay, most of countries, I don't like to say something related to that.
Yes.
We will passing these things.
Yes.
But our president is the first and keep pushing, no, will never happen. I'm still alive. Egypt will never agree that Palestinian to getting out of Gaza. This the dim place. And for reference to that, as your question, sir, we try to balance,
Yes.
to give him foods and give him the need as we could. The thing is, we are opening the gate. We are not closing the gate.
Yes.
All right, of Rafah. But the thing is related also to Israel, related also to Hamas sometimes. And Hamas, we see, we not to talk on that and what's happening in reference to what's Egypt sending today to stop these things to don't go allowed to get it in.
Yes, Dr. Mohamed Mokhtar Darwish, the international relations expert, thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate.
I really appreciate that, and I
Anytime.
wish, inshallah, as soon as we could, these things to be solved as soon. And Egypt will do and never stop this case until
Yes.
it's solved, inshallah.
Yes, hopefully, Doctor. And this brings us to the end of the Daily Debate for tonight. However, I will be leaving you with the latest presidential activities all wrapped up in the upcoming report. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met with the Prime Minister, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, the Chairman of the Supreme Council for Media Regulation, Engineer Khalid Abdelaziz, the Chairman of the National Press Authority, Engineer Abdel Sadiq al-Shourbaghi, and the Chairman of the National Media Authority, Mr. Ahmed al-Muslimani. The President highlighted the vital role played by the Egyptian media in building the national character, shaping citizens' awareness and informing them of the latest developments on the local and international spheres. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni. An official reception ceremony was held and the national anthems of the Arab Republic of Egypt and the Republic of Uganda were played. President al-Sisi and the Ugandan President held a closed meeting, followed by an expanded session of talks joined by the two countries' delegations. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi inaugurated the Egypt-Uganda Businessman Forum with the participation of the Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni as part of his visit to Egypt. Via his official page on Facebook, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said, "On the International Youth Day, I salute the loyal youth of Egypt. With their national awareness, strong determination and effective contributions, they are building a present that suits Egypt's ancient history. They're looking forward to a future that keeps pace with developed countries, while showing a strong commitment to the stability of the homeland and its protection from the dangers surrounding the region." President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met with the Minister of Communications and Information Technology, Mr. Amr Talat, The chairman of the National Media Authority, Mr. Ahmed Mislimani, and the advisor to the President for Media, Major General Mohsen Abdel Nabi. President al-Sisi emphasized the need to protect and preserve the heritage of the Egyptian radio and television by converting all radio and television tapes owned by the authority to digital media and investing in this content within the digital platform to be established by the National Media Authority. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi reviewed the initial indicators of the financial performance for the year 2024-25, which have witnessed an achievement of distinguished and balanced indicators.